WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Thank you for tuning in. 9 minutes before 11 o'clock. Reyna Grande is on the phone, and I apologize if it should be pronounced differently than that. She is a motivational speaker, a writing teacher, an award-winning best-selling author on Amazon. It says her memoir, The Distance Between Us, has become a required reading book in schools across the country. It also says when she was 9 years old, she walked across the U.S.-Mexico border in search of a home, desperate to be reunited with the parents who had left her behind years before for a better life in the city of angels. That would be Los Angeles, right? Yeah. This book is called A Dream Called Home. Reyna Grande, I can't wait to hear what this is about. Good morning, Reyna.
Hello, good morning.
Where are you right now?
I am in California, in my home.
Oh, nice. And did I say your last name correctly? Or either name?
Yeah, Grande, Reyna Grande.
Oh,
yes,
you rolled the R. You give me a chance to skill my skills with R rolling. Grande. Reyna Grande. All right. Well, tell me about the book. Is this a memoir?
Yeah, this is my second memoir. It's a follow-up to my first memoir, The Distance Between Us. And in The Distance Between Us, I write about my family's experience with immigration and family separation. Mm-hmm. And in the first half of the book, I write about my experience of being left behind in Mexico when both my parents came to the U.S. to work. And I try to capture that experience of what it's like for children to be left behind and separated from their parents for so long.
Yeah.
I write about my border crossing at 9.5 years old, and then coming to Los Angeles to live with my father, whom I hadn't seen in 8 years. So I really try to focus on the consequences of family separation and how it affects the entire family. And I was writing about all kinds of distances, physical distance, the emotional distance, the distance created with assimilation once I arrived in the U.S., because children assimilate much faster and in a different way than parents do.
Right, I think so.
So in A Dream Called Home, it's a follow-up, and it picks up when I arrive at the university to be the first person in my family to go to university, and I try to capture the experience of a first-generation university student of color and all the struggles that I had to overcome to figure out how to succeed at the university and be able to graduate. I also write about the challenges of being a writer, a Latina writer, and trying to make a career out of a dream. But ultimately, the book is also about my search for a home, because I feel that ever since I was a little girl and my parents immigrated to the U.S., I lost my home, and I have been longing for a home ever since. So the book captures my journey of trying to make a home for myself.
Wow. So have you ever gone back to the home of your childhood, the physical home?
Well, not really, because the home itself doesn't exist, and the places where I lived with my grandparents, and I lived with both sets of grandparents. And they're both gone now. My parents passed away years ago. So the home is really not there, but I do go to my hometown and I visit my cousins and my aunts and my uncles who still live in the area. And it's very different because I I have lived in the U.S. for most of my life, so sometimes I feel like a foreigner in my own country, in my own hometown,
Right.
and I'm treated like a foreigner. I'm treated like
You
an
are.
American.
Oh, that's not right. Why?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're such a gentle spirit. I wonder if this book might help with those who are. I don't know if. I mean, there's a big dialogue in this country now about immigration, and it's split down the middle, not just with immigration, but illegal and legal, documented and undocumented. But sometimes I think what you're talking about is what we really need to hear, what's really going on. Was it hard for your parents to bring you here legally? Is that why they didn't bring you here when they came here? What was the actual nuts and bolts of everything?
Well, my parents came here as an undocumented immigrants because they were very poor. My family was extremely poor, and they didn't qualify for visas. So they snuck across the border and they came here to work, and they couldn't bring us because they didn't have the money to be able to bring us. So they were here to work, and they left me and my siblings with our grandparents. And then when I was almost 10, my father came back to Mexico, and he had found a stable job in LA, and he had seen, all the opportunities that were to be found here. So he didn't want to come back to Mexico because the economy had gone from bad to worse with peso devaluations, and just the economy was terrible. And he so he decided to sneak us across the border with the help of a smuggler and bring us to live with him in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And
so, did you eventually become an American citizen? You and
I
your
did.
siblings?
Yeah. Yes. We were able to get our green cards. We got our green cards when I was 15 years old, and I became a U.S. citizen when I was 26 years old. Yes.
Wow.
And
I would love to hear more of your story. I guess I'll have to read the books, both of them. So the one that you are promoting today is called A Dream Called Home. If I have a listener who would like this copy, call me. I'll leave it here for you. You can come pick it up. The rest of us have to go buy it. I did find it on Amazon. You're getting really good reviews, first of all. Do you have a different website you'd like us to go to?
yeah, you could visit my website at reynagrande.com, and it has more information about my work, and also a list of all of my events. I'm touring right now, and I'm going to visit many cities across the country. So I hope you can visit my website and learn a little bit more about me.
And this is very interesting that you're able to travel like that to give people an insight into your books and also the very hot topic of today. It is really a blessing that you're doing that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel that, as a writer, especially as an immigrant writer, one of the goals that I have is to be able to use my words to build bridges between us, so that we can have a deeper understanding of my community and the complexities of immigration.
Well, I think you are speaking for so many people, and I hope the relationship between the United States and Mexico gets a little bit better than it's been lately. Thank you so much for being on the air with us, Reyna.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There are reports the Saudi government may admit a Saudi journalist was killed at its consulate in Istanbul, Turkey 2 weeks ago, but that it was an accident during an interrogation. A Turkish official tells the Associated Press police have found evidence that Jamal Khashoggi was killed. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham tells Fox and Friends,
we're going to sanction the hell out of Saudi Arabia. We deal with bad people all the time, but this is in our face. I feel personally offended.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has met today with Saudi Arabia's king and crown prince about